Hello. You're probably wondering why you're here. It's either because, well, you watch my channel all the time, probably mostly for these cuties, and they're here just so you can see them, because, yes, everybody loves the Beetle Plush Adventures now, so thank you. And I've met some awesome people on here, so awesome. But we're also here because of another reason. This video was recommended to me by a friend who I've slightly converted, so I'm proud of myself. But this is also to help slightly convert some other people. So if you're one of those people who is either being forced to watch this against your will because somebody else is, making you do it, then I'm here to guide you. Don't worry. It's not that bad. Trust me, it's not that bad. Yet. This is going to be the easiest part to get down to the rabbit hole that this is going to lead you down. But we're going to have to test you on some things first. Trust me, this is a long process. It takes a little bit before you can actually get into every single detail. It takes a few years. After all, this is going to be my 14th year loving the Beatles. Well, that's hard to believe, but yeah. So, anyway, we're just here. So first of all, before we even start, we're going to have to take a little bit of a personality quiz on, well, which Beatle are you? And then we'll get into the music portion. Have you heard this song before? You probably have, because they're going to be the most popular ones that they've ever done. And then, well, what sounds the best to you? Where should you start? And then when you know that, all right, then maybe you can explore a little bit more into this other category. Maybe you'd like this. Maybe you'd like that. And then, of course, biggest rule, listen to the one album. Trust me, that's where I started. Technically I started on the Red album, which is good if you end up on that category. But the one album is actually something that really, really helps anybody who wants to get into them, as it goes through all of their evolution, and it'll give you a big thing. So it'll give you a big help. You probably won't get that joke if you're not a Beatlemaniac, but if you are a Beatlemaniac just watching this video casually, then you're gonna think that's hilarious. So, anyway, let's get into it. Personality quiz, let's go. Did you answer mostly A's? Well, that means your ideal Beatle, the Beatle that you are, is John. You're smart, you're witty, you're hilarious, and you're often a little bit sarcastic. Well, a lot sarcastic. You like to do that quite a bit. Dry humor is where you're at. You're really, really intelligent. A lot of people kind of take that for granted sometimes. In fact, you're so smart that a lot of people can't even tell what a lot of your meanings can mean. You're also an extreme troublemaker, and you like to cause a lot of chaos. You like to get into the craziest of things. But no matter what, you do want peace for this world. So, do what you want to do. Did you answer mostly bees? Well, that means your beetle is the one and only Ball. Now, you're probably known as actually being quite popular and also really, really cute. Like, oh my gosh, you're probably the cutest person on Earth. But you're also a workaholic. And you really like things to be perfect. You want to be the person who runs every single thing around there when things are going to absolute crap. So, you're trying to help everybody and you want things to be absolutely perfect at all times. So, that can happen. And that can be a little bit of, stressful. But in the end, you really love everybody. You're an absolute sweetheart. And you really do care a lot for your family and your friends. So, you're a great person. And I can't blame you. Because honestly, whenever I take Beetle personality quizzes, I always end up with Paul as well. Which is perfect, because this one's my favorite Beetle. Did you answer mostly C? Well, that means George is the one that you get. Now, you're probably more of a quiet type. Someone who's a little bit shy, reserved, doesn't really like to speak up too much. But that also means you might be a little bit mysterious. People might not be able to figure you out that much. They might not understand. But that also means you might be behind their backs doing some amazing things. Or you're just getting rejected by a lot of other stuff. By a lot of your friends. When you're writing some of the most, or creating some of the most amazing things in the world. And then you go out and you do that. You surprise everybody. You're also probably pretty either religious or spiritual in some kind of form. And you found some way to make yourself extremely calm in most situations, which is amazing. Even when you're at your most angry or stressed, you just find a way to calmly walk away. You're a great person overall, and whenever you have your friends, you stick by them, even if you're in a feud with them. They're still your friends. They're still somebody that you've known for a long time, and you'll always be there. Even your last words will be extremely sweet. You might like to garden. You might like to do a lot of fancy stuff. And it's great. And even if you are quite religious and quite into that beliefs, you're also great with humor. You really love a lot of interesting types of humor. If you answered the Monty Python question. Good on you. You might have even cared about your friends so much that you funded an entire thing, that you funded someone else's entire project. How awesome is that? You're so caring. And lastly, if you answered mostly D, well, that means you're Ringo. How cool! Well, if you're like that, then people often see you as a very happy and a very funny person. You're kind of goofy. A lot of people see you as just the little person who just likes to have a great time. You might not be as well liked as many of the other people around you, but a lot of people do love you for certain reasons. And it's great. Because you know what? You are funny in your own way. You are funny in your own way. You're always happy. Nobody ever just sees you when you're upset or anything. You might not be as tall as some of the other people, but who cares about that? You also, instead of brown eyes, you might have blue. You probably can't see it, but I actually do have blue eyes. And in the end, you really also want peace and love. These are infectious. And keep doing it, because it's a great thing. Now, everybody, now that you know what Beatle that you're most like, it's time to know. Back to your little scorecards. Let's see if you know these 5 Beatles songs that are very, very popular. Do you know them? I bet you do, at least one of them. You can at least get a 1 out of 11 on this little trivia quiz. Come on. Come on. You can do this.
All my troubles seem so far. But if people living in the world agree, they'll something I say, it's alright. Where I was born, lived a man. How could I dance with another? Oh, and I the night before. With a little help from my friends, I get high with a little help. Flew in from Miami Beach, BUAC. Didn't get to bed last night. Shake it up, baby, now. Shake it up, baby. Twist and shout. Making me say that I've got nobody but you. Mr. Kite, there will be a show tonight on trampoline. Look at you, see the love. Free, but you can keep them for the best and please now give me more. When I see you go by, I get older, losing my head. Many years from now, I get to the bottom, I go back to the top of the slide. Where I stop and return, and a hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog. I once had a girl, or should I say, she once had me. I say no, you say so. Come on, flat top, come grooving up slowly. Got when I tell you that I love you, oh. And please listen, you don't know what you're missing. Sitting on a cornflake, waiting for the van to the way she moves. Bright are the stars that shine, dark is the sky. There are places I remember all my life. Nothing you can do that can't be done. Nothing you can sing that can't. Someday when I'm lonely, wishing you weren't so far. Look at all the lonely people. Without going out of my door. Love me, hold me, love me. He seems to think I'm lazy. I don't mind. Living is easy with eyes closed. Was riding nowhere, spending someone. And I'm walking beside her. People tell me I'm here, making each day of the year. I read the news today, oh.
then, we're back, and it's finally time to explain what all of this crazy information actually means. Because you're probably wondering, why did I just have to write down a bunch of this stuff, listen to all of these clips, with songs that, one, you didn't even tell me what they were, and two, I had to basically listen to them multiple times just to even tell if I liked it or not. So, what? Tell me what's going on, please! Don't worry. I'm gonna help. This will help. What this is doing is helping. Now, if you preferred a lot of the songs from category A, then you're really into the Beatlemania era. Now, that would be from 1962 to 1964. Mostly 1964 because that was the height of Beatlemania. Woohoo! We love that. And anyway, because of that, your homework is to listen to the one album, which, by the way, no matter what era you get, you have to listen to the one album. That's just the golden rule. If you want to get anywhere when you're starting to listen to the Beatles, listen to that album because it will really help you listen to their evolution. It helps a lot. But for you, Beatlemania people, A Hard Day's Night, that is the album from their movie of the same name, which I recommend watching, but we're not there yet, so just hold off on that. But if you're feeling a little better, then maybe okay, and you want to learn about their personalities, maybe okay, you can watch that movie, and you're gonna have the time of your life, I promise you. But please just listen to the album first. You're going to love it. Now, if you picked Mostly B, liked a lot of songs from Mostly B, then you're into the experimental era, which is really from 1965 to 66. And this is basically when they started to get on some certain substances that kind of actually helped them learn what some certain effects in the studio were, which is really, really cool. Some of it, I mean, the drugs were a little bit of a... It did some things to them as well, but we don't talk about that, okay? You can learn about that on your own time, but also, I might teach you if you want me to. Don't worry. We might have a whole Beatles education course on here if this becomes enough of a popular video and people like it enough. That actually would be kind of a good idea, you know what? But, like I said, one album, and as for you, Revolver, which is also my favorite Beatles album, so... One of the songs that I played for you in here was actually my favorite Beatles song of all time. It's called Here, There, and Everywhere. But you probably don't know which clip it was unless, well, your Beatlemaniac friend is still watching this with you, and they told you, hey, that's what it was. No. But yeah, listen to Revolver, you will definitely not be disappointed. There's not a single bad song on Revolver. In fact, the majority of these albums, there's not a single bad song on. Well, actually, all of the albums I'm recommending, nope. Not to me, at least. Now, did you pick Mostly C? Well then, you like the psychedelic stuff. And I don't blame you. That stuff is also quite influenced by a different type of substance. And it's quite interesting, the stuff that happened. And as for you, I recommend you listen to Sgt. Pepper. Not just for the fact that it's extremely influential in the world in general, but also because it's perfect for the psychedelic feel. And also, I mean, you get to look at the Beatles in their Sgt. Pepper outfits, and I mean, that's just frickin' adorable. We haven't really touched on how adorable that they are, but you kind of have seen the pictures, and that's how you got your personalities made based on them, so good on you. You've seen some pictures of them, and you've likely been shown some pictures of them, so you understand. Now, if you picked Mostly D, well then, you're in the historical period, which basically means this is when they made history from 1968 to 1970, when they finally had broken up. We're not talking about their solo stuff, and maybe we'll make a part 2 of this video discussing all of their solo stuff, which would actually be kind of cool. But we're not there yet. This is for all of you beginners who want to get into the Beatles in general. And if you liked their stuff from that period, then that's incredible. And I definitely recommend that you actually listen to Abbey Road, considering a lot of people consider that to be one of the greatest albums, not just of the Beatles, but of all time. So, yeah, that should tell you something. That this album is one of the best albums of all time, which I don't think it's the best Beatles album. I think that goes to Revolver. But I do think that the cover and the album is absolutely amazing. And, you know, Here Comes the Sun is off of it. A lot of the Sun. One of George's best songs is off of it. The most streamed Beatles song is off of it. You're going to love it, okay? You might not appreciate the last little portion. You might find some stuff that you're being like, well, I don't really like this that much. In fact, that'll go for a lot of the things in later Beatles stuff. In the Beatles discography, you might be like, well, I don't like this because it sounds too weird. But then it'll grow on you. So that's why if you didn't pick the D a lot, it's probably because you thought it was a little too out there. Same with C. Depends on what you got. Really depends on your taste. So no matter what it is, there's something for everybody. There's a lesson to be learned here. These four paved the way for everything that you possibly like right now. And so why not get into them more? Don't worry, I'm 100% qualified to teach anything that you need to know about these four sweethearts. And I'm definitely here for you if you have any questions. Goodbye.